All
Okay.
right.
Okay, I'm ready.
Are you sure?
I am ready. So
Are you
ready.
positive?
So
It's
positive.
been a long time.
It's been a long
I
time.
shouldn't have left you
I shouldn't left you
without a dope
either.
rhyme. Step two. Step two.
Step 2.
If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself.
And dust again.
Oh,
And
and
try
dust
again.
again. And
Try
dust
again.
again.
Try again. Ooh.
Okay. New lyrics alert. New lyrics alert.
Try again. Okay. Okay, so we're back.
Hey y'all, what's up?
Welcome.
Yeah, we back, baby. It's been a little bit.
Baby.
You know, we had a little hiatus. We're gonna talk about it a little bit, but we
A
here.
big one. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, welcome back.
Welcome.
Welcome to La Vida Blended, the podcast where we dive deep into real life stories. Seriously, again?
I got excited. I'm sorry. It's been a long time. Sorry that was premature.
Well, we dive deep into real life connections and stories and human connection and the journey toward emotional well being. Always clearly with a dose of humor. We're your hosts, Mila.
And I'm Donnell.
And we're here to explore the tough conversations, the personal growth, and the powerful experiences that shape our lives, whether it's navigating through love, loss, or everything in between. We believe in keeping it real, like 100% real, because life's too short to take it seriously all the time.
Yes, it is. All right. Well, so we've been gone for a while. And before I say anything else, just want to say thank y'all. Thank y'all for all the encouragement. Thank you for the text messages and DMs and all those different things. Just sharing with us how we've impacted you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do it for.
Mm-hmm.
So please keep liking, keep sharing, subscribe, commenting, all those things, whether that be YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Instagram. We are on those platforms, but keep them coming. And for some of y'all, keep texting us too.
Right, because the more that we hear like how much it's meaningful to you all, the easier it is for us to have like a stronger comeback. As you can see, we've been gone since March. And so the more we were able to hear from our loved ones and our friends that they're missing out our episodes, it gave us the strength to be here today. Yeah, so it's been a lot of months of silence.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're ready to speak and engage and connect as to why that's been the case. And you'll hear and understand from us like why we have been silent and why that's also been okay. And this is probably, we always have hard episodes, but this one's hard. It's really hard on so many different levels, and it's also the most necessary.
Yep.
That I believe that we've ever truly recorded. And I think it needs and deserves its own platform, its own episode as to why that's been the case. In this episode, we'll definitely talk about loss, not just as you all are used to, not just about our losses, miscarriage, IVF, all the things, but about Teray.
Yeah.
You'll get to hear about him and his special self.
Yeah.
And about our 9 miscarriages, about IVF, about the pain that nearly literally broke us mentally, physically, and emotionally, and the piece that's been helping us heal individually and collectively. And this isn't like a comeback we had imagined.
No.
Y'all have seen we've taken breaks and we've come back, but this is definitely not the one we had imagined whatsoever. But it's the truth of where we are, and that's how we show up. And we show up with authenticity and transparency. And, we hope that you all will meet us here where we're at as well. And, this is hard because just wanted to give you all a heads up that we're going to talk about grief, child loss, infertility, IVF, and the kind of heartbreak that changes literally everything. But we're also going to talk about love, about courage, about the
Mm-hmm.
truth, and about what happens when you finally permit yourself to stop
Yeah.
and to stop holding on to something that's been literally breaking you. So, if you want to take moments of pause to literally literally pause the episode and come back to it, that's no problem at all. Just know that we're just wanting to give you a trauma informed awareness, like, hey, we're going to be talking about some hard stuff, and give yourself some grace. So, did you want to walk us through about,
Yes.
March 15th?
So to start off, um, in the beginning of March, we lost our 15-year-old nephew. Uh, almost, a month after his 15th birthday. And, we were at a place with the podcast. I felt like we were doing really good.
Hmm.
We had some really good momentum.
Hmm.
And it was devastating, to be honest. So to take you back to the day I even got the call, we were at Kendall's tournament
Hmm.
and everything was good. They had won that tournament. Uh, everybody was happy, high fiving, with other family members and different things like that. And we were going home on a high, I would say. And I remember, I was getting home, and when I got home, I'm chilling out. For some reason, I called my dad, or either he texted me, but he let me know that he was at my brother Kenny's house, or um, his ex girlfriend's house, and Teray had an asthma attack. Now, Teray has dealt with asthma for all of his life. He did. He had nebulizer treatments. He had all the different things, and it's something that we were very mindful of as a family in general. And my father texted me that it was bad this time, and when he said it, my heart just dropped because he's been hospitalized before, and those are bad. Those were bad. But when my dad said it was bad this time, I just felt something different. The process of him finally transitioning was a long, drawn out, excruciating one over the course of about 4 days. From that Sunday all the way till Wednesday. We initially held hope. Again, he had been hospitalized before,
Multiple times, yeah.
multiple times. So we held on to the hope that we could. We, after Tuesday, the doctors had let us know that he was pronounced brain dead. And that was one of the hardest moments amongst about 30 of us, family members. And after that on Wednesday, we decided to uh, detach all of the life support systems, or at least my brother and Teray's mom, Sybil, decided to det- detach all the life support systems. And that was one of the hardest things I've had to ever go through. Loss is hard
Yeah.
in general, whether that be a miscarriage, whether you lose a loved one, like my uncle, whether you lose a parent. There's just something unique about losing a 15-year-old. Someone who hadn't, at least, when I think about my life, I'm 39 and all the things. And, it just feels like he didn't get a chance to live life. I didn't get a chance to see him walk across the high school stage. I didn't get a chance to check in on him while he was in college. Smart kid, knew he was going to
Hmm.
college. And we had to take a step back. I know personally, I'll say, because I know it's we, but I want to speak for me. I had to take a step back and mend my soul from just one of the toughest losses I've ever experienced. That happened so suddenly to someone so young with so much promise. Um, and there was nothing that could be done. It was an asthma attack. Mom was there, did all she was supposed to do, called 911, everything right. And as hard as it was his time for whatever reason that may be. So, um, that is Teray. But, you know, Teray was, Teray was funny. He was a character.
Mhm.
I still say, remember one day he came up to me, he's like, "Saw, dude." And I'm like, "Bro, what are you talking about? Saw, dude." I said, "Huh?" And then Kendall said, he's saying, "What's up, dude?" And I was like, "Bro, what is wrong with you?" You know? Teray, I used to get Kendall and Teray together all the time.
Mhm.
And I mean when he was younger, he was with us for
Yeah, I met him when he was 4.
yeah, he
Mhm.
was with us about every other
Mhm.
weekend. You know, that was Kendall's brother. We got
Mhm.
them together, and you know, that's how we raise our kids. We raise them to be brothers and sisters, even if they're cousins,
Mhm.
right?
Or
Because
even
that's how we
even if
grew
they're
up.
not blood related
Even if
either.
they're not blood related, if you
Mhm.
family, you family. We
Mm.
ain't playing all them games.
Mhm.
And so it was, you know, I spent so much time with him. So many pumpkin patch trips.
Mhm. Mhm.
Teray was the pumpkin patch prince.
Yes.
He would
Loved it.
go like 3, 4 times a year. He would go with us. Then
Mhm.
he'd go with his mom. Then his
Mhm.
grandparents would take him. Then
Mhm.
he'll go with the school. He loved the pumpkin patch,
Mhm.
and he was just
He would love finding those flowers.
yeah,
And then he would come and be like, "Mila, I got you some
yeah,
flowers."
yeah.
And there's actually a picture of him doing that I remember snapping because I thought it was so cute that
Hmm.
he ran first and then Kendall ran after, and then they were both able to get me flowers and they both like came running back. I'm like, "Oh,
Hmm.
Mila, we got you
Hmm.
some flowers." It was like the cutest thing ever. And I remember thinking like, "Oh my God, how cute is this?" And I snapped a picture and that's like the picture that I have like ingrained in my brain because I saw
Hmm.
the innocence. I saw the love, the just just I see you, like
Yeah,
as a mom type of thing. And so it was like the most cutest thing in the world. But that was definitely his jam.
yeah. He was just a jokester and a trickster. I remember him and Kendall being both asleep in the back of the car, and they wouldn't wake up, trying to get him. This was when he was about 4 and 3, so their toddler's pretty good size, and so I was lived on the one level up at the apartment I was at, so I carried him up, get one on one shoulder, one on the other, get to the door, switch them both on one side, give them keys, unlock the door, I go in, I go to the bed and I lay him down, and then all of a sudden I just hear Teray go. And him and Kendall just both bust out laughing because they was asleep the whole time, or they was awake the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
and just wanted to be carried. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, that's the type of prankster he was, but
Mm-hmm.
that's the type of light that he brought
Yeah.
to the world.
Yeah.
And so, um, with that being said, I want to say grief hits hard, and when you live in a world that is leave it at the door, leave your emotions at the door. We live in a world that don't care about your feelings. At least I'll say we live in a system. Because I think there's plenty of people out there who care for your well being, whether that be family and otherwise. But we live in a system where bills got to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to balance that is a very, very difficult thing.
Yeah.
So my heart goes out to all of you who don't get that opportunity
Yeah.
to grieve, to find your opportunities to process, because there's no such things as getting rid of it.
Yeah.
You don't get rid of grief. You
Right.
learn how to live with it.
Hmm.
You learn how to process it.
Yeah.
You create rituals to remember those you've lost. And so that is a big reason why we took pause.
When I think that 100%, because I think it affected him and it affected me in a whole different way. Like I said, I had known him since he was 4, and it was beautiful to be able to have the opportunity to raise Kendall and him. So it's like it was essentially a tag team, with his parents,
Mhm.
and be able to do all the things with Kendall. Like we raised him along, with his parents in every way possible that we could. And then he got to that age where he was too cool for school, so he was like,
Oh
"Oh,
yeah.
y'all are just getting too old."
They get, when they get teenagers,
Yeah,
they just
but
start moving and grooving.
he was a loving kid,
Mhm.
and I just loved him so deeply. And being at um his repast, or whenever we were at the
Repast,
church.
funeral,
Yeah, the
ceremony.
beautiful things that people said about him was so reflective of who he was, including the young people that came from his high school to talk about him. And it was just true to who he was. And I just remember saying during that day, like, just how grateful I was of Kenny, your brother,
Yeah.
and his mom, Sybil, of letting me be part of like raising him,
Mhm.
and I was just grateful for that opportunity. And I will never forget that gift that they both provided for me. And matter of fact, like there was a moment that his mom, Sybil, at one point, because I was supporting her and managing her all the school stuff for him. And she said something along the lines like, "I'm so sorry, like, this pain too."
Mhm.
And nobody had said anything to that effect the whole time, because it's not about me. It's not about my grief, my loss, or anything to that effect. That even in her pain, even in her grief, she was able to say and tell me, like, "I see you. I
Mhm.
see you, and I know how hard this is for you just as much as it is hard for me." And just, I remember just sitting with that reflection, and we were in the car, and I even had to take a moment to just
Yeah.
cry, because it meant a lot to me. Because that was her baby. That was her loss, that she was like, just even took a minute, second to just say that, was so impactful for me.
Very much
And
so.
during that time in the car, I was with Donnell and our roommate and my best friend Sarah in the car, and Kendall. And he actually was able to witness all of that. And to the point, because we were heading to breakfast, and I had mentioned to them, and I said, "Hey, give me a minute. I need to just take a deep breath prior to heading to the restaurant." And they all decided to sit in the car with me. They didn't want to leave. And so I let it all out, and we actually had a prayer, and then we get in we left to go to the restaurant, I think, to eat. And just even experiencing that, with
Mhm.
him and with Kendall and with my best friend, about like just sitting in the grief and just allowing that to be real into what it was so healing, was
Yeah.
just so, I can't put words to having a community of people. And often, like, as parents, through the years, we've had to learn how to do that in front of Kendall. But the beauty is that I was able to be me without fearing that I had to protect him, or that he felt like he needed to protect me.
Mhm.
And I think that was a gift within itself, that we allowed ourselves to just be. And that Kendall allowed himself to be, with obviously all the conversations that we had with him, and allowing himself to grieve and to be sad, to be angry, to feel all the things. But that he's a child that's so in tune, that he also knows, like, he doesn't have to take care of us, but that he can be in community with the grief, with the pain,
Yeah.
without feeling all of that. And I'm just so grateful that I'm able to raise a child like that. Because it's a gift. it's a gift to not feel like the need to protect him and to not be my authentic self in an effort to protect him. But it's taken some work to get here.
Taking
But
some time.
yeah.
I think one thing I also want to highlight too. You were talking about Kendall. The thing that was so hard about this one and the
Hmm.
element that was so tough was the kids. It was not just Kendall. We have a whole host of nieces and nephews and little baby cousins and different things like that. And just kids who were just as devastated as us.
Yeah.
And so an element that a lot of people don't think about is the support of other people.
Yeah.
Because not only were we supporting the adults, we were also supporting these kids
Yeah.
who were going through it, who some of them young and too young to really grasp what was going on, or really too young to really articulate the feelings that were coming up for them. And I think our strategy was great strategy. I don't know. I don't think anything is perfect, but especially when it came to Kendall, it was just communication.
Oh, absolutely.
When you feel something, say
Say
something.
something
That's
with
it.
like no regard. It was just like where there's no shame or blame and at all.
Nope.
We tag team with his mom and we told
Hmm.
her like, hey, here's what's coming up. Here's how he's doing. And she was so supportive of it as well. Like actually showed up to the funeral to
Yeah.
be supportive of him while we're trying to also be supportive of him while also trying to support all the things. And that was beautiful. Also how they like the young people supported each other through it all.
Yes. They
Yeah.
they they are again. We raised them as brothers and sisters too, and they lost a brother, and they really rallied around each other. But as an adult, as parents, the best thing you can do is just create an environment where the children can communicate.
Hmm.
They
Yeah.
may understand, create the understanding that you can't fix it.
Hmm.
You can't make it better as much as you want to.
Hmm.
Parents out there, I know you do, because I sure did. You can't.
Yeah.
And just being honest about that,
Hmm. And
being
they crave
honest,
that. Like
being honest about your pain, being honest about when memories come up, all those things are helpful to creating that that uh that communication.
they crave that. Like that was one of the things with Kendall. He was very open and honest about like when he was feeling like he was missing him and
Yep.
like that he knew that he could come to us and tell us so because he knew that we could hold space for him. And then there was times where he saw us and we were sad and he's like, y'all are sad today, aren't you? Yep.
Yep.
Like that's the type of baby I want to raise is for him to have that awareness, but also like know that he could have his feelings and his experiences without feeling shamed or blamed for it. That was really important to me. And so I think that after that loss, I think it it kind of it shook us. It shook us completely
Yeah.
in ways that I personally will never be able to explain. And I know that in seeing you, like I saw you broke completely. And your soul was so broken, so crushed, that I needed to also rally and understand like how do I show up for you? Because this is not all grief is the same and not all grief is going to show up for us the same. And
Hmm.
so it's like I had all my strategies, right? Because I had already practiced it with all of our baby losses, but this was different.
Yeah.
And so there was moments of complete like I felt like I was in a forest lost and I was trying to find him, trying to find his hand, and I just couldn't. No matter what I tried, no matter what map, no matter what light, no matter what I was using, I just couldn't find him.
Yeah.
And I think, that's what led to the next reason why we were also so lost and needed the break. Um, and so I think in that we were trying to figure out how do we grieve this all? How do we give each other space? And how do we And the thing is, yo, like, we have an amazing village. We
Hmm.
truly do. We have an amazing community that just deeply loves us so much.
Yep.
And rallies around us and gives us all the love that we needed in that moment and continue to need. There are so many people in my life that understand that it's not just around supporting around their death, it's like the post, right? Because that's when it hits the
Yep.
most. And I'm grateful for that. And I think, you know, before Teray passing and that loss, we were already carrying years of pain, as you already know,
Hmm.
years and years of
Hmm.
pain, 9 miscarriages, countless rounds of IVF that, had us with successful pregnancies and early miscarriages or not. And y'all have heard about our pains, and not just that, but like it's like the hormones, the heartbreak, the hope, the debt, the silence, so much silence. So much silence because as you are able to hear in some other episodes where I talk about, like, I felt like there was nobody that I could talk to about it because nobody understood. And I didn't want anybody to experience so that they could understood, but that was just reality. Like nobody was experiencing what you and I were experiencing. Nobody could
Hmm.
understand why we were choosing debt, right? Over to try to find the hope of having a child. And nobody understands the debt, right? Like, and why it's collected so like as much as it is. And because every person and every debt is different for per couple, right? Some
Absolutely.
couples like get to experience it at one time and that's it, and they get to have successful things, and that's
Amen
amazing.
to that.
Exactly. And then there's people like us who, which is not the case, right?
Hmm.
I have endometriosis. I have a whole bunch of other concerns that lead to much more expenses that are not the same for everybody else. And so we chose that. It was a commitment.
Hmm.
Um, but we don't, I know you often talk about how we don't talk a lot about this process and what the process does to couples
Yeah. And I think, I mean,
and to our mental health.
that man syndrome is real. Um, I, just like many men, have developed a mechanism of disassociation, right? Just pushing through instead of processing it, instead of being honest, or not necessarily being honest, but instead of disclosing and sharing feelings, we tend to focus on pushing through. We tend to think about the people that we have to support, the roles that we have to play, which are important. Nobody's saying just quit your job, leave your family. Nobody's saying that, right? So at the same time, have fooled myself once again with my disassociation. And so we had been scheduled beforehand, um, before Teray, before he passed and everything like that, to begin another IVF cycle. And we were in full swing. We were ready to go.
And what he means by ready to go is that I had already taken 2 months worth of medication for my endometriosis to then actually begin to initiate the IVF process,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Which is to begin all of the other hormones, all of the other visits, injections, and dropping of thousands of dollars,
Hmm.
essentially, is what he's referring to.
Yeah. And Mila was full go.
Yes.
Mila was um which I'll allow her to speak to as well. Um, but she was fully enthralled, ready to go. And so my thought was, look, I'm usually the one who, Mr. Positive, I'm usually the one who brings the energy and all those different things. And I just couldn't do it anymore. And so instead of raining on her parade, I said, you know what? I'm allow her to carry us. I'm allow her to keep the energy. I'm just be behind her. I'm gonna play support role, and I'm gonna go. All the while suffering the whole time. All the while not ready, like heart wise. My mind told me I wanted to do it. My mind told me let's do this, but my heart was broken and crushed. And it was a mixture of both. How hard our last process was for me, with the hope that I had, and how crushing it was for me, and this crushing blow of losing my nephew who felt like a son to me. And I just couldn't, I couldn't get my heart to match what I wanted to do mentally. And I thought I was doing good, but Mila felt it.
Yeah. We were actually I think, coming back home from one of Kendall's basketball tournaments. And I don't know how we got into the conversation, but I had just finished my second dosage for my endometriosis. And I believe I was bringing up the next appointment of when we needed to meet with our doctor to then initiate the process. And I think he was driving, I was in the passenger seat. And that's when he said, like, I just don't think I can keep going. When I heard those words, I don't know, like, it literally cracked my heart open. It was bleeding internally because, again, right, like, he was suffering in silence and, like, kind of just going and going and thinking, okay, she got this, we got this, everything will be fine. Um, which, mind you, I hated, and my heart hurt that he was doing that because I never wanted that for him.
And it wasn't her fault.
No, no, no,
It
no. And I
wasn't like
never
I
took,
felt like I needed to
right,
not
right,
disclose something or
right.
be honest or
You
anything
never,
like
and
that.
you never made me feel that way either. It was just like, it broke me. It broke me completely. Because, as the vessel, right, that does and receives all the things to essentially get primed to then get pregnant to hopefully have a child, like, I too have been hurting. I have been hurting this whole time. And the thing that has kept me going is the hope that I can have a child. And so I was angry. I was sad. I was devastated. And, my first, it took me a moment to respond. And I
Hmm.
remember telling him, like, I appreciate your honesty. And this is really fucking sad.
Hmm.
Um, and we cannot keep going. We're just going to have to stop everything. And he, was like, I know that's not what I'm telling you this for. Like, we don't need to stop. And I'm like, I don't think we can keep going through this very vicious, rigorous, emotional, and painful process if we're not fully in. Now, mind you, for those that have done IVF and know miscarriages and know, like, the pain of not being able to have a child, even with all of that, you're never going to be ready. That's just honest to God. It's never going to be like, I'm ready to start IVF. No, no.
Right.
And so I know that, but it's like, at least we have to have, like, that emotional attunement that we're like, okay, we got each other. We got this,
Hmm.
right? Because ultimately I'm the one that physically experiences it all. And so I was angry. I was angry. I was angry that he had not communicated this earlier. I was angry at the world that there wasn't, like, the space and the opportunity for him to say that. But he was numb. He was numb. He was numb from all the pain. And I just felt like he didn't have the words for it until he did.
Right. And
And he just did.
yeah, and I think, the thing with disassociation is that, and what I've come to find out is you think that it's just with this one thing. But when you disassociate, you are also cutting your spirit off, your heart off from the other roles you play, the other people you're connected to, the other ways in which you are connected with your wife, with your family.
Mm-hmm.
That disassociation is not just with something specific. You cut yourself off from the world. You cut yourself off from love. You cut yourself off from enjoyment. You cut yourself off in so many ways, and it still has an impact on all those relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, think about it, y'all. Like when you start IVF, um, like you are like essentially an experiment. Like my
Yeah.
vessel is an experiment. Therefore, like he's the scientist, right? And my team, my medical team, are like the practitioners, right? But he has to do things precise, like injection on time at the right spot,
Mm-hmm.
making sure, that it's not causing any more pain. But guess what? I already have bruises everywhere. So what's the point kind of a thing. But
Right.
I think for me, it's a lot of pressure on both individuals, but it also stops the joy. It stops the connection here. It
Mm-hmm.
stops the sexual desire to do anything. It's just,
Or even like physiological possibilities, like
yeah, it's not fun. It takes like the joy, right? Like I don't think I can't even remember the experience of experiencing joy to have a child. I
mm-hmm.
just don't know that feeling anymore. Nor do I remember it. All I remember is hormones like being pumped with hormones and pain and loss and grief and sadness. And I have learned now to experience joy when I am pregnant. Like I will remember those moments last summer of being pregnant. It was
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. And I have pictures and I can reminisce when I was pregnant. And with that being said, when he said that, I was angry because like I wish I wouldn't have pumped my body with extra
Mm-hmm.
injections, right? Those 2 months. I wish that he would have said something because who wants to be pumped with extra hormonal shit in your body?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're already hormonal. Like you don't want all that extra shit. So,
And
and
it's
of
up
course,
against who wants to be the one to be the ball and chain.
right, right,
In my position, who wants to be the one to say no?
right.
Who wants to be the one to crush dreams? Right? Like,
And it sucked that you had to be in that position because it's nobody's fault, right? Like it's
mhm.
literally nobody's fault, right? He wasn't at a place to communicate that. And it just sucked so
Well, and what
much.
I will tell you is going through the pain of having the conversation, you are much better off than enduring the separation that you do to your spirit to your
Mhm.
partner.
Oh, yeah,
You
absolutely.
you you will you will suffer even more in the end without the fortitude to
Yeah.
actually have the conversation. Have the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Make
Absolutely.
your partner, or even if your partner's going to be mad, they're going to have to be mad. Have the
Yep.
conversation.
Yep.
If your partner's going to be disappointed, have the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I wouldn't have wanted him to go through the process and then later tell me, like hold some kind of
Well,
resentment or
one
guilt or anything to that effect. Like I wouldn't have wanted that either.
one of the things you also said in addition was, I need you.
Yeah, I did.
Like,
And I do.
if we're gonna do this, I need you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't need your
Your body. Like your
body.
yes, just
Like,
being there.
I need you. I need more than just your. I need your
Mm-hmm.
presence, not just physically. I need you here with me mentally and
Mm-hmm.
spiritually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I just didn't have that at the moment. And I felt like we needed to just pause
Hmm.
completely. And I think that has been the hardest decision that we have made. We make lots of hard decisions, unfortunately,
All
all the
the time.
time. But that was really hard. And at the same time, it has been the most liberating feeling in the entire world.
Hmm.
It's like the yes and it's living at the parallel. And although very hard, like it has been quite an amazing journey experiencing summer without having to be pumped with freaking hormones and feeling like nothing fits and feeling like I have to get new clothes again because it's all over again and going on vacation
Hmm.
without having to carry like our tackle box with all
Without
the
her leaving me
injections.
in the line by myself with all her IVF treatment stuff, like I can't, and I'm looking at the TSA dude. I'm like, oh man, I'm about to get flagged. Like I'm going to jail because I can't tell them I'm going through IVF. Like
Right. It's true.
she's over in that line. I don't know why she went over there. That's my wife. Hey, wave, and she, Luckily, she waved, but
It was the first time,
yeah,
and
but
it
it was
was
just stuff like that.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it was amazing to just feel like I'm in my own body. And I don't have the words to describe that because already I'm a pretty like experienced, like my like hormones all over the place. And I feel for the first time in a long time that I actually feel I'm in my own body. And
Hmm.
that's such a gift.
Yeah.
Um, because I get to do the things that I want to do, right? Like this is the first year that I'll be able to do Hood to Coast, which is like the
Oh, you
mother
did
of
it
all
last
relays
year.
in the state of Oregon. I did, but here's the thing with last year, like I was pregnant and it was beautiful. And then I miscarried. And then I actually had to have a DNC.
And
And then
two
two
weeks
weeks
later,
later, here I go running in the Hood to Coast, like my what, 16, 18 miles. I can't remember how many miles. And then like a
running
couple weeks
5 minute
later,
miles.
I was not
I know that's like world
he's
record.
lying. Right. No, I was definitely not running that. And a couple weeks later I ran a day relay with the team. It's that part is cathartic. It's healing. It's beautiful. Getting my body moving. Like that shit was amazing. Now, running Hood to Coast this year, this is the first time, y'all, because every other year, couple years back, it's always been like, okay, team, I may or may not miscarry. So I may or may not be able to be there. And my team is so gracious, so kind, so loving. But this is the first time I get to say, I'm running Hood to Coast
Hmm.
and with no fear and just being confident outside of my runner's knees because my runner's knees are like messy. Ugh. But ugh. But it does feel amazing. Like it feels like I can be confident again. Like, oh my gosh, during spring at work, Donna was like, where are you going? Who you seeing at work? And I'm like, yo, this is the first time I feel confident in my clothes. This is the first time I actually fit in my clothes. This is amazing. So I felt confident in getting dressed and getting my hair done. And it just felt good because I mean, you know the struggle. You've seen me trying to get dressed when doing IVF because you get
I mean,
super
we've been
bloated.
on. It was a marathon
Yeah.
back to back. We would have a month or two off, but it
Yeah.
was just like,
Yeah.
it wasn't
Back at
enough.
it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't a lot
but
to really
but
recover.
you'd seen me like
Hmm.
struggle. You see me cry in
Yep.
the closet, like I don't know what to wear, nothing fits type of thing.
Yep.
And so it has been liberating in a sense. Um and I'm grateful and also still grieving the fact that we haven't been able to start. We do have one last embryo that's like the last chance. And we still don't know when we're going to get back to it, like
No, we know Windows is closing, but we have a
I'm
year or
getting
two.
older. That's like scientifically proven that the older you get, and we just both have to be in it. And I have been incredibly proud of us
Mhm.
in this journey. Even though it's been hard, we've had our setbacks. That's why we go back to therapy, right? To
Yep.
say like we feel disconnected, we don't feel like in par with each other. That's
Oh,
normal.
y'all thought we was perfect?
I'm
I
sure they
am,
don't.
but her, I don't. Mm-mm.
Says the other Aquarius.
But
Calm down.
I'm
Calm down,
perfect by
bro.
myself, I guess.
You're
Uh,
I think your mama's telling you lies.
First off, my mama. My mama ain't never told me that. My mama ain't never. All right, she love me. Okay, okay, mama. I know you listening. Yes, you give me plenty of love, and I am a confident
Listen,
person because of you and all those things.
she's
And
always
you ain't
said
never
when he was a
not
baby, all
told me
he
what I needed
needed
to
was a
hear.
blanket on the floor and he'll just be fine.
Yeah, leave me alone. Don't pick me up. You
He's
pick
still
me
the
up,
same.
I cry. You're like, put me down. I'm cool.
He's still the same. He still has that same Oregon blanket that he just covers himself.
I do not have. First off, the Oregon blanket is from college. It's not even from like. Gosh, that was no. Actually, it was my favorite quilt was my great grandmother OT's quilt. She used to make quilts
Mm,
after in the same tradition that black folks made quilts out of different materials and stuff like that they were
yeah.
good. And so that was like my favorite one. And my mom still got it. It was all tore up and tattered and stuff, and I had to stop using it at night and whatnot. But
We
she still got
seriously
it.
digress. What the heck? What are we talking about?
Well, that's what we do. Um,
That
so closing.
was so formal. Okay, closing.
There you go, listening to my voice again. Relax. Chill out. Um, yes. So In closing, grief is tough. Life is hard. Growth is still possible. Healing is ever present. And learn your processes of healing. Learn new ones. Figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Because you will continually go through things. If it's not loss in the death of someone or the loss of someone's life in one way or another, it's going to be the world.
Yeah.
We talked about the world in our last episode. There's so much more that has been happening in the world, right? There's going to be change of jobs. There's going to be just various hardships. So continue to find and discover your practices of healing. That's going to be most important. Um, and are we gonna do a couple of questions, or are we gonna go?
Huh?
Oh, go ahead.
I actually wanted to, you know, to close with like a, a quote that I had, like that says, "We're still here with love, with memory, and with hope." But in Spanish, I wanted to say, "Aquí seguimos con amor, con memoria, con
Mm-hmm.
esperanza." But I also have written something for Teray. Should I read it?
Yeah, I think maybe if you pull up mine, I'll read mine too on Instagram.
Oh,
Maybe.
well, I have mine on here.
Yeah, you have
Okay.
Instagram on your phone too.
I just, this episode is in honor of Teray.
It is.
And the strength that he continues to give us, and like Kenny said at his funeral, like we don't get over it, we work through it,
Mm-hmm.
and we still live,
Yep.
right? And so I just wanted to say, dear Teray, you were only 15, but somehow it feels like you had lived a lifetime in the time we had with you. You were quirky, kind, sensitive, hilarious without even trying. You had this wild, incredible hair and the best hugs. You were a big cousin, but more than that, you were a big brother to Darnell in every way that mattered. You were his person, our person, one of the brightest parts of our lives, and especially with Kendall. I still think about the time we all went to the pumpkin patch. See, here I go with the pumpkin patch. You were younger then, running through the fields like your legs were on fire because he had this weird like run when he would
Oh,
run.
he would
Yeah.
waddle.
um, and you would just find me flowers. You didn't love the pumpkin guts. He just hated that part. Never liked the slime much, even though you pretended to be cool about it. But you stayed right with Kendall, carving out crooked smiles and memories I give anything to relive. There are days when I still can't believe you're gone, that I won't get another one of your hugs, that you won't be here, that you won't be there, being your beautiful, weird, wonderful self. But if you can hear me somehow, if love really does travel farther than we know, I want you to know you were so deeply loved. You mattered. You matter. You left a mark in this world and in me. You gave me something I never thought I'd have when I couldn't carry children of my own. God gave me you. You made me a mom to reign not by blood, but by bond. And I will carry that gift, that visibility for the rest of my life. You changed me. You showed me what it means to be loved without limits, to show up, to raise and to be raised all at the same time. We miss you more than words will ever hold, but we're trying to live in a way that honors you, gentler, slower, more present. You probably roll your eyes, but I think you'd also be super proud. We love you always. Your tia Mila.
Always, always. Um, can you find mine on Instagram
Oh,
real quick?
yeah.
And while she does that, because we're probably just gonna end it out.
Yeah.
I just want to thank y'all again for being with us. Please check us out on Instagram. Please check out the videos on YouTube. Getting better at that. Continue to listen and continue to give us suggestions. What do you want to hear from us? What stories do you want? All those things, and we really appreciate you. We really do,
And your patience.
and your patience. So here we go. I've always told others that in my family, we only know one way to love. That way is a way of family and closeness of the likes I've never seen in any other family. Growing up, I honestly didn't have cousins because they were as close as brothers and sisters. My aunts and uncles weren't merely aunts and uncles, they were my additional parents, helping me become the man I am today. I say that to say this: it breaks my heart to see Kendall and all my other littles in my family lose to Ray. He was a brother. To that I say, it doesn't feel like I lost a nephew. It feels like I lost one of my own. The same grief and pain that I felt after experiencing miscarriage after miscarriage bubbles up inside of my heart. The pain of a life that never got the chance to truly live still haunts me. Teray wanted nothing but the best for everyone he was around. He was as gentle as they come, looking after Kendall and his brother Darnell, my namesake, of course. He was a child that did so much to make sure that others were okay and felt loved. He was bright and funny and full of life for as long as he lived. Thank you, God, for ever blessing me with the presence of such a spirit in my lifetime. Thank you, God, for each and every loved one that has ever made me feel loved, from the elders to the adults, and especially to all the young folks that give me an opportunity to pour into them as they continue to teach me how to live and appreciate life every day. To all who are blessed to have a child of their own, biological or not, niece, nephew, a little sibling, a mentee, please hold them a little tighter for Teray because that's what he would have wanted. And please appreciate the miracle that they are. Love you all, and I love you, Teray.
Um, wow. Um, Thank you for your patience and your kindness, and we are looking forward to seeing you the next time.
Peace.
Peace.